Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, fiery pepper spray spat. A woman accused of pepper spraying her neighbor during a disagreement over a fire being lit was brought before the St. James Parish Court last Wednesday. Aliyah Mary appeared before presiding judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton and was charged with assault occasioning bodily harm. According to court documents, on March 27 in Lilliput, St. James, an argument developed between Mary and the complainant. Both the women are neighbors. During the altercation, Mary discharged pepper spray into the complainant's face, resulting in a burning sensation and the skin turning red. A report was filed with the police and the charges were brought against Mary. During Wednesday's hearing, Mary's lawyer Martin Thomas stated that his client takes issue with the allegations leveled against her. Your Honor, she had lit a fire outside our gate, which caused the complainant and her husband to come across to our yard and speak to her about it. She had her baby in her hand, and while she was speaking, an argument ensued. She was attacked with stones and a machete, and she used her pepper spray to spray the complainant in her face, Thomas explained. She immediately went to the Barrytown police station to make a report. They did not take a report from her. They advised her to go to the court's office and seek civil redress, Thomas added, noting that his client had gone to Barrytown police station twice and that the report was still not taken. Thomas went on to say that he hopes the police take his client's report, especially given the details revealed in court about the assault of his client. The attorney also stated that if mediation does not produce a resolution, his client is prepared to go to trial. Following discussions, the judge instructed Mary to go to the Barrytown police station and to file a detailed report. Additionally, she gave the Crown a 3-week deadline to prepare and present their cross case in court. The matter was then scheduled for mention on May 15, when the cross case is expected to be ready. Mary's bail was extended until that date. Affair of the heart misunderstanding settled. The case of a St. James man accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend was settled amicably through mediation at the St. James Parish Court last Wednesday, with the accused man apologizing to the complainant in open court. The defendant, Andrew Whittingham, was facing a charge of assault occasioning bodily harm. During the sitting, presiding judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton asked the complainant if she wanted to try alternative dispute resolution, but she declined, stating that she wanted the case to go to trial. The judge then asked Whittingham if he was guilty of the offense, to which he replied no. However, the complainant eventually agreed to participate in mediation talks with a probation officer in court, and the case was temporarily adjourned to facilitate this process. If you are tried and found guilty, I could send you to prison for up to 3 years, the judge told Whittingham after the case was revisited. You might think that this is not as serious an offense as others because it involves an altercation between you and your ex-partner, but this is a very serious matter. Even if I tried the case and found you guilty, and even if I did not sentence you to prison, you would have a criminal conviction, Fairclough Hilton told Whittingham. The judge went on to remind the defendant that he is a businessman, emphasizing the importance of him being aware of how a criminal conviction could harm his professional reputation. To formally remove the case from the list, the clerk of the court pleaded the defendant, who entered a plea of not guilty. The defendant then publicly apologized to the complainant, who accepted his apology. As a result of the mediation agreement, the prosecution offered no evidence against Whittingham. I understand that this is a matter concerning affairs of the heart, but the end of one relationship does not prevent you from having another that might be better than this one, the judge told Whittingham before discharging him. According to court records, on March 15 on Harbor Street in Montego Bay, St. James, the complainant was delivering packages for her business when Whittingham approached her and grabbed her throat. When she attempted to call the police, he grabbed and squeezed her wrist, causing pain and bruising. A police report was filed, and when cautioned, Whittingham reportedly stated, "Officer, it's just a misunderstanding. I never meant to do her anything." Wholeness holds a slight lead over Golding in latest poll. 2 months after a strong showing in the local government elections, in which the opposition People's National Party pulled out more votes than in the 2020 general election, its president, opposition leader Mark Golding, still trails the Prime Minister Andrew Holness by 3 points in favorability ratings. This has been revealed in the latest poll conducted by the Don Anderson-led Market Research Services in April. The poll was commissioned by the PNP. Mr. Holness leads in the vulnerability index at 40% to Mr. Golding's 37% in the poll, which has a plus or minus 3% margin of error. The poll found that 18.1% held a negative opinion of Golding compared to 31.1% for Holness. Additionally, 28.8% of the respondents had no opinion of Mr. Holness compared to 44.8% for Golding. Mr. Anderson believes this was a good showing for Mr. Golding, who generally trails the Prime Minister. According to him, Mr. Holness with 31% has a significantly higher negative favorability rating than Mr. Golding at 18%. Mr. Anderson found that the negative ratings of Mr. Holness were driven by a number of factors, the most significant of these being that 46% of those polled who did not think he is a good leader. Discrepancies mark Ganja case against the businesswoman who walks free. A St. Catherine businesswoman was last week freed of Ganja-related charges at her trial in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court due to several discrepancies in the prosecution's case. Roxanne Hewart, 43, of Linstead, St. Catherine, was arrested and charged in April 2021 after a probe suggested that she had shipped products laced with Ganja via DHL. The products were reportedly candles. During the cross-examination of the main witness, Hewart's attorney, Richard Lynch, cited that a discrepancy was identified between what was allegedly recovered on the day in question and what was tested at the government's forensic laboratory. The witness admitted that there were items that were contained in the exhibit that were not a part of the original seizure. On that score, Lynch objected to the exhibits being tendered into evidence. At that juncture, the presiding parish judge acceded to the attorney's request, ordering that the exhibits could not be used at the trial. As the trial progressed, Lynch also contended that there were inconsistencies relative to how the recovered parcels had been labeled and stored. When the prosecution closed its case, Hewart's attorney made a submission arguing that the level of uncertainty surrounding the parcels and how they were handled while in the police's custody were too great to continue the trial. The prosecution conceded, and Hewart was subsequently freed by the parish judge. JMMB confirms a bin card fraud attack on customers. JMMB Bank has confirmed that the Visa debit cards of a small portion of its clients have experienced a bank identification number attack. It notes that a bin attack is a common tool used around the world for external fraudsters to gain access to any unsuspecting individual's accounts to make fraudulent purchases. The BIN or bank identification number is the first 6 digits of a debit or credit card. Utilizing the bank identification number, cyber thieves use computer programs to guess a valid combination of the card number, expiration date, and the card verification value or CVV number, which are all necessary components for executing a card transaction. Criminals are able to try thousands of those combinations in a matter of seconds by using a software. Last year, banking experts warned of a rise in BIN attacks. Among those issuing the warning was a JMMB, which urged its customers to minimize the amount of cash in their card-linked bank accounts and to be alerted to changes in their bank data. In post to its social media on Saturday, JMMB Group said customers should always carefully review their transaction alerts. If you receive a successful transaction alert that you did not initiate, report it immediately by contacting our client care team at 1-876-998-5662 or visit your nearest branch to have the card blocked and replaced and to file a report, it said.